Well, Scott, thank you so much for joining us on this snapshot of success. Now we get to talk about Chicken Salad Chick, which is doing some really great things. And you guys had an exceptional 2020. I mean, I can throw out some stats here. You were up 36% in sales, 27% in units. I mean, that's more than double digits in a year when people were failing. So can you talk about what made 2020 not only a good year, but a great year for you guys?
Well, we were expecting a phenomenal year at the beginning of 2020. We had plans to open about 50 restaurants. We were going to continue to grow the brand, and then we were on pace. So we had opened 11 restaurants from January until middle of March. And then when the world shut down, we all sat there and said, what do we do? The interesting thing was our guests are very passionate about our brand, and that's a wonderful position to be in. And so they wanted us to, serve their product wherever they were. So we started, being a little more nimble, doing community drops where we would pre-sell and then take it to a community and have them pick it up. Or we set out tents in certain locations where we couldn't have a drive-through. So we basically did pop-up drive-throughs. We also had guests that would come through the restaurants and say, hey, I want to buy a meal for a first responder. And this was when, the hospitals were crazy. So they would just give us money and say, go feed somebody at the hospital. So we turned that into the donate a meal program. So we were doing wonderful stuff when the world stopped. And that was further proof that, we could come out of this thriving instead of just going into survival mode. And it was a true testament to the brand, but our franchise owners, our company store teams. And then all of a sudden we looked around and it was, beginning of May, and franchise owners and company stores too, we had, buildings that were almost ready to open that had to stop. So then the phone starts ringing again when probably Texas was the first, because those states opened up a little bit earlier. And they said, we have a building that's ready to go. We want to open. So we pulled everybody back into our office starting June 1st. We said, no more remote work. If our restaurants are working, we need to be working and supporting our teams. And June 1st, we opened up our first new restaurant in the post-pandemic world. We had to change a few things, and I'll get through that in a second. But we ended up opening 26 new restaurants from June 1st till the end of the year. So that gave us 37 for the year. We were sitting in the middle of March. We didn't think we'd have any more than 11, and we ended up with 37. So it was a great year. We had, numbers, our system-wide sales were higher than they've ever been. So it was just a great year for us all the way around.
And you talked about how all of these things that you were doing at the beginning of the pandemic, helping frontline workers, and a lot of your mission at Chicken Salad Chick is to help others. And that's a big part of the way that you position the company. Can you talk about that element?
So we firmly believe that we are a purpose-driven business. We sell chicken salad. We make fresh chicken salad from scratch every day in our restaurants, with the exception of Sunday when we're closed. But that is really just the medium in which we're able to spread joy, enrich lives, and serve others. We have about 80 franchise owners in our system. We have about 70% of the stores of the 200 that are open today are run by franchise owners, and the rest are on the company stores. And so we firmly believe that all the thousands of people that we have working for us, our whole purpose in life is to spread joy, enrich lives, and serve others. Yes, we do it for our job. Yes, it's our paycheck. But when a guest walks through the door, we want them to feel like they're the most important thing in the world, whether they're having a bad day or a good day. They're there to come in. If they're having a bad day, we're going to make them feel better, hopefully by loving on them and giving them great service with great food that's made fresh. And then if they're having a great day, coming in, we'll celebrate with you. So that's part of what we do, but we also love on our teams and support our teams. All of our employees that we have, we're very cognizant of what they do every day. So part of our plan is to, enrich the lives of everyone that works for us. Some of that means our franchise owners who left the corporate world want to go be franchise owners and business, entrepreneurs in their own right, in the American dream, and which is so awesome that we get to do that. And so we've changed people's lives as doing this job that we do every day, and it's been fantastic.
Well, hearing that you've changed people's lives is incredible, and it's a great thing to have as a business owner, as a business manager, to just say, I've actually done this. We are more than halfway through 2021, so it would be silly not to speak about this year. What have you guys been doing when it comes to business for this year?
Well, I think we took a pause like everyone during those, few months of last year, and that hurt us a little bit on development just because, we didn't know what was going to happen. So when you take a 3 or 4 month pause from development, it does slow you down a little bit. We've rebounded so nicely from that. So we thought going into this year, if we could get 40 restaurants open, which is 3 more than last year where we did 37, that would be a tremendous win. And right now we're on pace for that. We'll finish the year right around 40 new restaurants, which puts us right around 216 for the brand at the end of the year, which is great. To be over 200 is phenomenal. Our system-wide sales, though, have been fun to watch. Last year, we finished with 175 million of system-wide sales, which was a great number. We were really excited about it. It was about 20% up over the year before. This year, if you look into the December, when we get to the end of the year, opening those 40 restaurants, plus the growth in the business, it's never been stronger, that we could finish up conceivably around 250 million of system-wide sales. So we're like thrilled that we're going to hit the $250 million mark this year.
That is so exciting. And what do you guys have planned in terms of marketing for this year? I mean, those are some big numbers you're talking about. 40 new units, $250 million. You've got to be thinking about some kind of great marketing strategy around it.
Well, we're still grassroots, even though we're that many restaurants. We still a lot of grassroots marketing. We do a ton of social and digital stuff. And that is the most effective way, clearly, for our brand right now, because we don't have the dollars to go put on a national TV ad or something like that. And radios are still pretty expensive, relatively speaking. So we have really pushed social and digital. Our owners are fantastic. They're very engaged in their local communities. So between local stuff, pushed with social and digital behind them and at the brand level, it's actually worked. And we do some limited time only offerings. Our guests have told us that it's not necessarily the driver that brings them in, but when they come in, they like to see some new flavors. And it also reminds them all the different ways that you can take chicken salad and blend it with different flavors and have all this fun flavor. So right now we have been doing one called Pam's Parmesan Caesar, which has been a nice little, Caesar flavor, chicken Caesar flavor. And then next quarter, we will do one called Madam Curry, which is a beautiful curry chicken salad with golden raisins. So we do mix it up like that, but it's not like we're pushing LTO on TV or anything like that to drive our guests. We're really doing more grassroots.
And is that something that you hope to continue as you grow larger? I mean, there are a lot of companies that continue to do grassroots marketing, even as they have, 1,000 units, because it's what their DNA is. Do you think that you'll be able to keep the things that are important to you, like community engagement, like grassroots marketing? Do you think that will stay with you as you grow and grow and grow?
We hope so. It really is in our DNA, and it really comes from the foundation. When Kevin and Stacy started the brand in 2008 in Auburn, they were very locally tied into Auburn. As we've sold franchise stores to franchisees, that's what they've done. They've been very engaged in their local community, whether it's sponsorships or supporting the schools and churches, things like that. That is just part of who we are. We do it on the company store side too. We'll get very involved in our communities. We also, to this point, have not really had large franchisees to speak of. Our largest franchisee has 12, 13, 14 stores. And so there's still a collection of a lot of stores in little communities, and they're very involved in those communities. But we don't have a franchisee with 100 stores, for example. Right now, we just have that grassroots marketing effort. And I think that is here to stay for Chicken Salad Chick, but also other brands like you're talking about with 1,000 stores. It's just the most effective way to reach people.